Good afternoon, guys. Here's discussion B for you. We're discussing how dementia impacts the caregiver as well as the patient and the social implications that it has on this dilemma that everybody goes through. So here we go with the presentation. Titled Dementia Impacts the Caregiver as well as the patient. Social workers say, here's what here's what here's what's being done to help both. Okay. Dementia's dual impact. Nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 plus are living with Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. Dementia affects not only patients but also caregivers who often face emotional, financial, and physical strain. Caregiver experience. Example, Victoria and Rick and requests has cared for her 93-year-old mother for over a decade. She describes the emotional toll, especially the repetitive nature of dementia-related behaviors. Clinical insights. Dementia affects thinking, memory, reasoning, mood, and personality. Social workers and clinicians highlight early warning signs such as forgetfulness, misplaced items, e.g., storing non-food items in the fridge. Community and cultural dimensions. In Starr County, Texas, dementia prevalence is twice the national average, deeply affecting families across generations. Cultural values like familiar responsibility and community caregiving shape responses to dementia. Jessica Canu, a nurse practitioner, shares her journey caring for her father and now working at a local Alzheimer's research site. Ongoing challenges. Despite growing awareness, the root causes of dementia remain elusive. Caregivers and patients alike seek answers and support, often navigating complex emotional and systematic landscapes. If you'd like, I can help you extract actionable insights or co-design a culturally responsive caregiver toolkit based on this early warning. Signs of dementia can be subtle at first, but they often become more noticeable over time, according to clinicians and social workers cited in the article. Here are some of the the hallmark indicators: cognitive and behavioral cues, forgetfulness, frequently forgetting names, appointments, and recent events, misplacing items, putting objects in logistical places, like storing non-food items in the refrigerator, repetition, asking the same question multiple times, even after receiving an answer, confusion, difficulty following conversations, instructions, or familiar routines. Mood and personality changes, increased irritability, anxiety, or withdrawal from social activities. These signs may seem minor at first, but they can signal deeper neurological changes. If you're thinking about how to integrate this into toolkit or outreach strategy, I'd be happy to help you co-design something culturally responsive and myth busting. If you're if you suspect dementia, either in yourself or someone close to you, early thoughtful action can make a meaningful difference. Here's a structured approach to guide your next steps. Step-by-step guide for suspected dementia. Document observations. Track changes in memory, behavior, mood, and daily functioning. Note specific examples, e.g., misplaced items, repeating questions, confusion and with familiar tasks. Integrate and initiate conversation. Speak gently and respectfully with the person affected. Frame concerns with care. I've noticed some changes lately. How have you been feeling? Schedule a medical evaluation. Start with a primary care provider who can perform cognitive screening. Request referrals to specialists like neurologists, gerontologists, or neuropsychotherapists for deeper assessments. Rule out other causes. Some symptoms may stem from depression, medication side effects, infections, or vitamin deficiencies, not dementia. A full medical workup helps clarify the diagnosis. Engage support services. Connect with social workers, memory care clinicians or clinics, or local Alzheimer's organizations. These professionals offer guidance, resources, and emotional support for both patients and caregivers. 6 is plan ahead, guys. Begin discussions with legal, financial, and care preferences while the person can still participate. Consider advance directives, power of attorney, and long-term care options. Build a care network. Involve family members, friends, and community resources. Explore respite care, adult day programs, and culturally responsive caregiver supports. If you're thinking about adapting this into a community toolkit or outreach framework, I'd love to help co-create something that's participatory, myth busting, and tailored to diverse populations. Okay. There are several excellent resources offering dementia support groups tailored to caregivers, individuals with individuals living with dementia, and families navigating this journey. Here's a culture. Here is a uh, created list to get you started. National online support group resources. Alzheimer's Association support groups offers virtual and in-person groups led by trained facilitators. Specialized options for early stage Alzheimer's, young onset adults, caregivers, or more and more. Includes the Alzheimer's Connected, a free 24/7 online community for sharing advice and supports. 2. Dementia Care Central, a list local and virtual support groups across the U.S. Includes guidance on how groups work, what to expect, and how to find one near you. Offers caregiver focused groups with opportunities to share stories, frustrations, and solutions. Dementia Society of America uh, directories provides a comprehensive directory of dementia related services. Memory care or memory cafes, caregiver networks, and community based programs. Offers a toll free line, which is 1-800 Dementia, for personalized guidance. If you're thinking about adapting these into a culturally responsive outreach toolkit or mapping them for underserved communities, I'd love to help co create that with you. Want to explore how these models could be localized or myth busting? Organizing effective support groups, especially for dementia caregivers or culturally diverse communities requires thoughtful planning and inclusive facilitation and clear purpose. Here's a synthesis of best practices drawn from leading resources. Okay. Okay, next one, guys, is foundational planning. Define the group's purpose. Clarify whether the focus is emotional support, education, resource sharing, or advocacy. Identify your audience. Tailor the group to specific needs, e.g., dementia caregivers, early onset patients, adult communities. Okay. Choose the right format. Decide between in-person, virtual, hybrid, or peer-to-peer models based on accessibility and participant preferences. Logistics and structure. Framework or time and frequency. Monthly meetings work well for general support. Bi-weekly may suit newly diagnosed or highly needed groups. Match timing to participants. Evenings for working adults, daytime for older caregivers. Group size, ideal range from 6 to 12 participants. Smaller groups foster intimacy. Large ones may need breakout sessions. Duration 60 to 90 minutes is optimal. Longer sessions may cause fatigue. Location and ambience. Give me 1 second, guys. Got to reshift. Ensure privacy, comfort, and accessibility for virtual groups. Use secure, user-friendly platforms. Facilitation and engagement. Skilled facilitator. Use trained professionals or peer leaders who can guide discussions, manage dynamics, and ensure psychological safety. Clear boundaries. Distinguish between support and socialization. Consider separate social meetups and if needed. Inclusive communication. Encourage active listening, respectful dialogue, and culturally sensitive language. Flexible agenda. Mix open sharing with structured topics. Coping strategies, legal planning, myth busting. Content and resources. Create relevant materials. Bring handouts, toolkits, or guest speakers on dementia care, stress management, or community services. promote resource awareness, share local programs, respite care options, and culturally responsive services. Adapt culturally, integrate traditions, languages, and values that resonate with participants' backgrounds. Sustainability and growth, feedback loops, regularly assess group satisfaction and evolving needs. Core member engagement, involve participants in planning, outreach, and facilitation to foster ownership. Okay. Use flyers, social media, and partnerships with clinics or faith-based groups to recruit members. If you're thinking about co-designing a support group model or adapting one for a specific community, I'd love to help build a participatory framework with you. Want to sketch out a sample agenda or toolkit next? Facilitating support groups, especially for dementia caregivers or culturally diverse communities, requires more than empathy. It calls for structure, tools, and ongoing learning. Here is a created set of resources to help facilitators thrive. Okay, guys, so that is it for now. I'll be back on shortly with C. So give me a little bit for C, please, and I'll be back on with that for you shortly. For now, Gator Wellness. Take care, folks. Have a good afternoon. I'll be back on as soon as I can shortly with C for you. For now, Gator Wellness. Take care, folks.